This is Infection, the survival podcast, recorded live on Tuesday, September 20th, 2016, episode 88. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infection, the survival podcast. Infection is your source for the latest information on survival video games, where we bring you the latest news, reviews, updates, and more each and every week. My name is Nick Craig, at Nicholas M. Craig is my Twitter. InfectionPodcast.com is the website, and if you're interested in news and politics, check out Against the Norm at atnshow.com. Joining me with the majestic beard, Brian Aldridge. Hey, Brian.
Hey, everybody. If you want to find me, of course, there's always Twitter. If you want to find me on Twitter, at Boise Computer, you're more than welcome to check out my blog. It's biteoftech.com. And then we always have Discord. Discord's an excellent way to come and hang out with everybody. People talk throughout the week. Today's been a pretty busy day.
I would say Discord is the way to communicate with us.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that will message me individually privately on Steam and everything.
Okay, yeah.
But if you're just wanting to talk with all the guys, we got 19 people online right now.
No girls allowed.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, there may be one secretly in there.
There is actually, but we do know it. But yeah, there's one. So yeah, check out our Discord.
Yeah, I quit. Yeah, McGroggin's giving me harassment because I don't spell out my blog anymore because I just assume people know it's with an I, just like my name.
But you don't. I mean,
Bite of Tech, BITE of Tech.com.
I'm not trying to stir the pot here, but are you actively posting on that? When was the last?
No, I don't actively. It's all. Well, I'm waiting for, because I usually do it about my hosting software, because I do a lot of stuff, and I'll figure out ways to do a right code for doing things with my hosting software.
January 21st, 2016.
Yeah, so I did it earlier this year. They're getting ready to release their new big version, so I'm going to have to rewrite some of my code in October. So then I'll be rewriting some of my articles or writing new articles on how to do.
So go to Brian's blog and hit the RSS feed button, and just be noted, it won't spam you. There will not be spam of new content.
You don't have to worry about being spammed. You can subscribe, and it'll a couple times a year you will see a notification. That's it.
This is totally off note, but you know what I've been doing recently? Sites I want to follow that post semi-regularly. Not as, I'm not attacking you, but not as ill frequent as yours, but let's say once or maybe twice a week. Use IFTTT and have it send you a text message if it's something you really want to follow. I've been doing that more recently, as long as it's not I would never subscribe to. I don't know, the a Reddit RSS feed or something, getting a text every time there's a new post. You're fun to be constantly.
Well, that's the issue of
messages.
Discord. I've gotten on some of these Discords where there's a lot of people, and I have the phone app, and so constantly, every 10 seconds, my phone was going off. So I went through those and was like, okay, do not notify me unless there's a direct mention.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
Don't give me any notifications on my phone at all.
Oh, no, I love getting this. I get the phone notifications for all the Discord channels. But yeah, there's a link on the website. If you go on the right-hand side, there's a little connect icon.
There's a link for our Steam group. There's a link for our Discord. So if you go to the Discord, Discord works in an invite-only method. So what you need to do is just go to our website. On the right-hand side, you'll see a list of who's on there right now and a join. That'll get you in there, and then you'll permanently be able to be in the Discord.
Yep. So there you go. So this week we did PlanetSide 2 for our
PlanetSide 2 for Game of the Week.
Yeah, and it went over, I think, very well.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we played that. I would love to play that again. We had 9 people, I think, which is the largest turnout we've had in quite a while.
In a while.
Now
this is a game where I think it would be better the second time, because a lot of us hadn't really played it before, or hadn't played it in so long we couldn't even remember what to do. And so at the beginning of it was just a lot of us where do we click? Where are we going?
Trying to get our whole
how does this work?
Squad or groups together, which was kind of a problem.
Yep. So, now that we have it figured out, we'd be able to do it again and kind of get into the action right away.
So that was our game of the week, PlanetSide 2. And coming up this week, Brian, you want to tease us? It's a game that I know you've ranted and raved about in the past. Unfortunately, I won't be here for it, but What's going on?
Well, then can I start it at 9 Eastern?
Start it whenever the hell you want. I don't care.
Okay, I'm changing it to 9. And my wife was very disappointed because she has to work this Friday. And she loves this game. She's like, "Can you guys like hold it off for 3 or 4 weeks?"
Oh, absolutely not.
I was like, we'll do it again, and then you can play. But she's like, I really wanted to play this with you guys. So, Heroes and Generals, which is a lot of fun to play. It's a game that there's not really any downtime with it. Pretty much, you die, you wait just a little bit, and you spawn again, and you're just constantly going. But it's a free to play game. Heroes and Generals. There is a progression system through this game, and we'll bring it up before the end of the show again, just kind of reminding everybody of the game of the week. But 9 o'clock Eastern, Heroes and Generals. Make sure you get it downloaded beforehand. It is a fairly large game. And maybe run in there and play a couple rounds throughout the week if you want to figure out how it works so that you're ready to go. But it's a World War II era just multiplayer game, and it is a blast to play. We've played it for a while. A year ago, I think.
I don't know. I'd never played it.
Pramit says he's playing it right now. He's played it a lot.
Gotcha.
But there is a progression system to where you get better guns. They're not like ridiculous, but you'll get a sniper rifle or something. So there is somewhat of a progression system the more you play in this game.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
so there will be people that kill you with guns that you don't have.
Gotcha. All right. So that's that. Join the Discord channel between 9 and 9:30. There'll be people in there. Make sure you, again, disclaimer, get your stuff set up beforehand. There's nothing.
We'll start getting everybody together and queued up about 9 o'clock. Yeah. It's a game that you can join in, later. You don't have to join in at the very beginning.
Yeah, I'm not trying to single anybody out, but like when you come in and don't have anything set up, it is quite it's quite taxing on everybody else that's trying to play. When you're like, oh, I can't, the game's not opening, or how do I do this, or how do I do that? It's very taxing. So check it out early in the week. Just jump in, do whatever. Just be familiar. Get your graphics settings set up. Get your audio set up. Get all that stuff set up earlier so that during the game it's not it's not a problem. So there's my quick disclaimer. And now we are going to hop over to H1Z1, which Brian has had a fairly active week. Would it be wrong to say the most active week in a while?
Yeah, it is pretty active. I mean, not active today necessarily. Not that things are actually happening today, but I mean, if you look at what they've put out, they put out 5 days ago, I think, a
producer's update.
Update, pretty much saying what was going to be happening.
So we can roll right into that. And I don't know,
do you want to go into? Do you want to cover that, or do you want me to?
No, I'll cover some. I'll cover this. So this is this week's producer update. There's a lot more stuff in here that I'm not actually going to cover because we've got a bunch of things to talk about. So I'm going to kind of hit some of the highlights on it here. So the first thing in this producer's update is the new UI. So we've talked about this new UI. Now it's actually in the game. We've seen it teased, we've seen screenshots, but now it's actually going to be in the game, and it is actually in the game on the test servers now.
And well, kind of.
Well, yeah, it was on the test servers.
It will be soon.
Well, no, it was on the test servers.
So it will be. It is in the game. The test servers were up for a while.
Yes.
And today we're supposedly going to be having this in the live, and then whatever version in the test server that's got all of the bugs worked out.
Exactly. So what if you wanted to see this UI, you had the opportunity to do that. I did. I know Brian did. I know some other people did as well. So the new UI is in the game, and quickly, I think the new UI looks fantastic. We'll get into
much better.
We'll get into this after I read this letter, but UI, I think they hit a grand slam with, in my opinion. The next thing is something I've seen a lot of pushback around. Some people being really critical, some people saying they like it. It's called Scrapyard, and it's kind of confusing. When I read it the first time, I didn't know what they were talking about. So this is what it is. So part of the new UI is an entirely new grinder experience. We're calling it Scrapyard. The idea was to make it simple to deal with your duplicate items. For example, 15 trucker hats, 15 red trucker hats, 10 10 green t-shirts, so on and so forth, dealing with all those duplicate items. So now they've introduced a system where you can now break down these duplicate items into scrap. This is not scrap that's in the just survive. This is scrap just inside your inventory. And then you can use that scrap to combine and essentially make and get new items. And then there will be an item list within Scrapyard that will be quite large and full of a lot of items out of the recent crate. So they're going to keep this updated as well. And it will get refreshed each time a new crate is released. So while a crate is out, Brian, what this seems like to me is that instead of having to pay for crates, if you just get enough skins, you can... It appears, just reading this from face value, it looks like you'd be able to essentially make some of these skins. Of course, not all of them, but if there's, let's say, 5 T-shirts in a crate, maybe you can make 2 or 3 of them with this scrap. So this is a really cool concept that now you're able to...
It'll create a lot less waste because you're no longer, if you look at the new UI, you no longer see the number of items that you have, right?
No.
It's not like I have 30 trucker hats, as you said. Now it treats it as I have the choice of what do I want to skin at the beginning. It's one item, and it has nothing to do with, it's just whether you have it or not.
Exactly.
It's purely what it is. So there's no benefit to having multiples of the same item. So this is a good way.
And there wasn't before, but now it just really doesn't show it. Like there's no... I was going to grab some screenshots of the new UI. We talked about it already, and I really want people to go in and see the new UI because it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Go in and play around with it. There's a lot of cool stuff there. This just we don't have the time to
definitely much better than it was.
Yeah. So we'll get back to the UI.
It's definitely, it looks much more modern.
Definitely. Let's just talk about it now. Let's talk about our experience with the UI. So I think. And Brian, I'm going to call you out specifically on it.
Okay.
The people were being really critical of the game this week. What day were we playing? Was that on was that like Thursday or Friday or something like that?
It was sometime last week.
People were being really critical, like, "Oh, great, the UI is good, but the game isn't good." And I think first of all, this is the test server, so I'm not expecting that. But if you really look at the UI, and this is the point I think I said to you when we were playing, the old UI was literally, and it was literally gray opaque boxes. That was the entire UI. In an Arial white, like 12-point font text. That was the entire UI previously. There was nothing that struck you as, wow, this is a modern game with UI. It was square boxes. It was white text with a drop shadow. That was it. That was the entire UI. And if you come from that, I think you have to remember what the UI looked like because it's so like ingrained into you. You don't really realize how crappy that UI was until you retrospectively look at it and say, that was like 15 minutes in Microsoft Paint. You were able to create some type of gray box and throw some text on it. Jumping from that to what we have now, which is this is
a fully designed
there's animations
experience
in the UI. There's a little spinning hazard wheel that is counting down how long until the gas, the next zone or whatever they're trying to do. There is so many cool things in this UI that when the old one was, I mean, look, you remember what the settings screen looked like, Brian? It was settings and it was a gray box with some sliders. That was it. There was no. And it was fine because it was an early access game, right?
And there were a lot of settings that they didn't have in there.
Yeah, you had to edit in the file.
In this new one, they've added a lot of the graphic settings that we were going in and editing the INI file to be able to go in and make changes to. And so now they've brought. I don't remember if they have full screen windowed. I don't think they have, which I do not understand.
I didn't
That's
look.
the one thing. That's the one thing in the graphic settings. I had to go in there and add that.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have full screen windowed as an option, but all the rest of the settings seem to be there.
Okay, so that's the new UI. So again, if you're saw the new UI and you're thinking about the new UI, look at the new UI, look at all the things that are available, and then look at the old UI. And you'll see this is the difference between like a high school or like a middle school project and like your doctorate thesis paper. There is no comparison. This is night and day. And the old UI
it would be your first project of your freshman semester. For the first one, you're like, oh, I'm going to try this out I'm learning, this is PC 101 class. Let's make a UI versus, as you said, at the end of your term, learning all the tools, like using everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what took them so long to get to this point to even really hint at it.
And this is the thing. I don't really care that the UI was was bad for as long as it was, because a UI, Brian, I know you're a computer guy and so am I. UI is it's not just like, oh, let's throw a bunch of boxes here. There's a lot that go into the UI. You're talking about the workflow of how people actually think. UI management is a UI design is its own like subcategory in programming. People that are really good at planning out and designing UIs. It's not just, it doesn't come. If I tried to design a UI, it would be a disaster because I don't have any creative. I'm not creative when it comes to that stuff. UI is very, very important, and it takes a long time to develop UI, to develop how everything is going to work and how the workflow is going to work.
Well, and the whole queuing system, like they've totally
redid it,
reworked that.
Yeah, and so again, I don't care that it took so long because in early access, personally, I don't really care if it's gray boxes. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect the gameplay. I would have rather had them spend time on the game, which it appears they did. But now that this King of the Kill is coming out of early access, isn't it today? Or is
it
was supposed to come out today. Either way, they needed to get this new UI done.
They pushed it out. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing is he announced in here, all right, we said we were going to fully release. And this is something that I said, like, I was like, oh, you can't. We said this, no testing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to release on the 20th with zero testing.
Yeah.
And I not that they listened to us, right?
Wink, wink.
But not that they listened to us, but obviously they came up with the same conclusion. We can't release day one with zero testing. And today is a perfect example of why. Because, I mean, sorry to break it to you guys, but the game is still not up. The game is down.
So let me finish this first so we can cover that. So the Twitch integration, they're working on some new stuff with Twitch. I don't think people really care about that, so I'm just not going to cover it. If you want to read about it, there's notes in here. Crowns, skulls, and credits. So this is interesting. I'm going to read this word for word here. So they are introducing some new in-game currencies and updating the current system a little bit. To start, crowns will be replacing Daybreak Cash. You see that little icon? Like, oh, I got 100 or I got 1,000 Daybreak Cash. So the crowns will be the new currency system for that. So you'll be buying crowns instead of Daybreak Cash.
When you first log in, because I already converted mine. When you log in the first time, it will say, do you want to convert your currency to crowns? And it takes you to the Daybreak site, and it'll do a one-for-one transfer over. Now, so now I have 100 crowns or whatever.
That is... sorry, I was getting an announcement. Hold on a second. I just got a pop-up from something at Daybreak. But, okay, so, yeah, but to be clear, if you play, like, PlanetSide or any other... or EverQuest... They don't
use crowns. I would assume
they don't use crowns.
And it's non-reversible.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say. Do not do this if you're trying. If this is not like a back and forth. If you want, if you're playing H1Z1, convert your Daybreak Cash to crowns. Other than that, you will not. You can't use them. But you can use them in the other game. So crowns for this game. And Brian talked about that conversion system. So the in-game items and everything in-game will stay the same price. It'll just be, instead of Daybreak Cash, it'll be crowns now. They've also introduced skulls and credits. Skulls are a new currency, which can be used to buy new rewards for your character, while credits will be earned through normal gameplay and can be used in the bounty system to earn skulls. So it's a little bit confusing here. So let me just kind of sum this up for you. So skulls and credits. Skulls are what will be used to buy things for your character, and credits you will earn by just playing the game, and then you will be able to convert those credits to skulls to use stuff to buy your character. It's a little convoluted when you're saying it. I would assume it will make more sense in the game. So we also talked about the bounty system. The bounty system is the beginning of a whole new system that will make its debut in this update, which we'll cover what happened with that. But it's called the bounty system. The system will start small and expand over time. Not on the 20th, but on the 20th, you can back your performance in a single match. By doing that and doing very well in the match, you can win skulls in the new in-game currency mentioned above. You will have the option to back your performance with any of the three in-game currencies: skulls, crowns, or credits. with skulls always being the currency that you are paid out. So it will, no matter what you do, you'll be paid out in skulls.
Okay.
Now, so essentially what this is kind of a wagering system. This is saying, hey, I'm pretty good. This is kind of like, I don't know if you ever play Grand Theft Auto, but if you do like the Grand Theft Auto races, you can bet some money up front that you're going to come in first place. And if you come in first place, you like double or triple that money or whatever. If you don't, you lose it all. So that's essentially what this is. Kind of it's a wagering system.
Hence you're betting on
you're betting on good. So if you're really good at the game and you've got some of these crowns to say, hey, I want to get some more skulls here. You just buy, or you just essentially wagering against yourself to say you're matching up against other people. So I'm not going to be critical of this, but it does seem a little convoluted that
three different forms of currency.
And it's interesting because the credits will be earned through the credits are earned through normal gameplay, so just by playing the game, and then they're used in the bounty system to earn skulls. So essentially what happens is you take your credits that you earn in the game, you wager them in the bounty system, and then you get paid out in skulls.
Okay, so you're just kind of earning the ability to put some down on a game.
Exactly.
If you actually win, then you're getting skulls
Exactly.
So just general play will get you the credits.
But the credits really don't do anything besides get you into the...
Until you actually wager them.
Bingo, you got it. Exactly. You have to wager them. It's kind of a... I like this system, to be honest with you, Brian. Playing the game, it gives... Again, we all talk about incentives, right? We talk about an incentive for launching the game. My incentive for launching the game could now be, hey, I'm really trying to buy this item with skulls, so now I'm going to log into H1Z1 just to get more credits so that I can wager them to get skulls. It's all about incentives, and currently H1Z1 has zero incentives. There's no incentive for playing the game at all right now. Stuff like this is going... that when you have 15 minutes free, instead of browsing Reddit, you may launch up a game and try to win something, because now there's actually a system to win things.
Even the scoreboard system and having some sort of a ranking system, for some people that's all it takes.
But I think
just having you against having somewhere where there's a possibility of you having your name up there, as being better than someone else, like that will get tons of people playing that normally wouldn't.
And I was
because there, as you said, there is no real incentive to go in there and play a lot, other than you play a lot and you have a little ticker at the bottom of your thing. I see people on streams that say, oh, I've gotten this many wins, but they're tracking all that stuff themselves.
Exactly. You see the Twitch streamers that have it in their title or whatever, that how many wins, so on and so forth. So let's move on to the next thing you already kind of mentioned: a scoring system and leaderboards. So there's now a score in each game. You get points, or your score goes up by every time somebody dies, you get some points. Because that's one less person. You get points for picking things up, I believe. But now that
at the end of the game, even if you didn't kill a single person,
5,000 points, 6,000
you'll get points for just doing random things.
So obviously the score, people are going to have millions of points. I would assume, because
at some point
you can literally get. I got maybe one kill in the 3 or 4 games I played, because I didn't know the map and I was just kind of running around aimlessly, and I'd say I had I had over 10,000 points, I think, and I really hadn't done anything besides stay alive long enough to get some of these points. So there's going to be seasons now in the game, which are really popular with these esports games. Seasons, Rocket League's got seasons, Counter-Strike's got seasons, Call of Duty's got seasons. So there's going to be leaderboards now, and leaderboard tiers, and they're going to start at bronze, and then they'll move through silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, and the final one is royalty. They're going to begin testing this system in the live environment coming soon when they release this next update, and they want to see how it works out. But there's going to be this new season system, and there's 6 different leaderboard ranks, kind of like how League of Legends works, where you rank up over time. The better you do, you jump rank or jump class. It doesn't mention if there's going to be certain, if you're gonna, I think for this system to work, there needs to be, if you're bronze, you only play with bronze players, because that's typically how these systems work. I don't think that's how it's going to work, because it says leaderboard tiers, but that's how it should work.
That may be something once everything kind of settles out. Because right now everybody's going to be bronze, right?
Exactly.
And then you're going to get a few people that are what is it, silver and then gold. It would be to where there wouldn't be enough people. I mean, if they get it to where everybody's ranked out, you've got 1,000 people in gold, you got 1,000 people in platinum, then you're guaranteed to at least have a game going. I think right now, until it picks up and they have a lot of people, that it wouldn't be good to do that. But that could be something they turn on once they have enough people playing in each tier to know that you're going to be able to queue up to a game quickly.
Yeah. Now, Brian, do you have these this producer's note open?
Yes.
You want to read the next thing, because you've talked about this time and time again? And it's different than what you.
It's not exactly what I said, no, but it's the same concept.
Yeah, so what is this next thing here, Brian?
All right, so they have a training zone now, and it's pretty much a map that you go on to where you can just run around. It doesn't affect points. It doesn't do anything. There's no gas, but and when you die, you actually have the ability to respawn. So rather than being okay, the game is done, re-queue, you can just run around. There's no scoring system, as I said, but you just run around and practice. Like, if let's say you want to go find a bunch of ammo and just practice shooting, you can spawn into this, and if someone kills you, you come back. I mean, it's kind of like survival mode in a way, but treated in the same manner as King of the Kill.
Yeah.
As far as what the game is. So I don't know if this is them kind of also testing a little bit of Just Survive, because it's kind of like Just Survive in a way. You run around, you can loot, you can respawn when you die. I mean, it's pretty much Just Survive, branded under King of the Kill.
Exactly. So but this is good.
But being that there's no points and there's no progression, I'm assuming they have no building for sure. Because there's no building in King of the Kill.
No,
so it's a limited rule set.
And there's no gas. There's not going to be any gas. It's essentially just play. This is going to be good. Specifically,
this may be something people just go do to run around and just kill each other.
Well, and it's kind of an interesting thing, because you could say, like, hey, this is kind of like a Call of Duty multiplayer at this point, where you just respawn and respawn and respawn and play over and over again.
Yep.
I think this is good for people like me that don't necessarily have the best shot, and going in here and being able to kind of hone in on that shot a little bit and not have to sit there and wait and queue and wait in the box of Destiny and just queue and queue. Maybe you go in here for an hour or so and just try to practice, and just not even shooting people, just practice shooting things in general. Like lining up a shot and say, I want to hit that stop sign, and actually hit the stop sign. So stuff like that. So that's cool.
And so I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of ammo. If it's treated like King of the Kill, because that's the problem with Just Survive, is, okay, to go and really practice your aim, it takes a while to build up that much ammo.
Yeah.
And so in this, it's probably going to have the same weapon disbursement, ammo disbursement as the normal King of the Kill. So when you spawn, most likely there's just going to be a ton of ammo and ton of guns. So you'll be able to sit there and practice your shot as much as you would like.
Yeah. And this goes making a comment. It makes them feel good somehow. And there is part of, I think, just human nature that, you go into this training thing and you hit a couple of shots and you're like, all right, I'm ready. I've got, I don't feel quite as, like, for example, when I'm in King of the Kill, I do not go out of my way to chase somebody, because I'm just not great. And most of the time it's good. I'm going to chase after them. I'm going to land the first few shots on them, and then they're going to turn around and kill me. That's typically what happens. So, but for this it's kind of a morale thing. It's kind of just, all right.
When I was playing a lot more, I felt a lot more comfortable. But when you take, let's say, a couple-month break, and then I go into King of the Kill, like, my
That's
shots,
exactly what happened this week.
I don't know the sweet spots. Like, they changed the game. It takes me a while to get back into that groove. And since I'm not doing Just Survive, I don't sit there and just shoot guns. Whenever I'm shooting guns, it's because someone's shooting back at me now, in King of the Kill.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, you can have that relaxed, just run around and practice your shot to get to where, as you said, you're comfortable.
Yeah, and Buzzweaver's kind of summing it up with this one, and then we'll move on. The bottom line is there are no consequences or loss. You just run and gun. Exactly. Couldn't have summed it up better myself. Now, we got the new, of course, it's called the Fort of Destiny now. We've talked about that already. This next one is interesting, and I kind of want your opinion on this, Brian. This is regional servers and fair play. I'm going to read this verbatim. We have now tested servers in all of the regions that we will support on the 20th. North America, South America, Europe, and Asia/Pacific being one region themselves. These will all be up and running on the 20th, and players will default to their closest region. All of the fair play detection will be enabled, including ping and disconnect restrictions. Again, this is the fair play thing is dealing with player ping and then also dealing with people lag switching, which was an issue. I'm curious. It says all players will default to their closest region. That means they'll default, but I hope that means you can still play with people that aren't in your region. right?
Well, because this is the issue. So if they're going to be enforcing lag, because this is something we run into, let's say like with PHVCK.
It's not even, no, not even with
Joe.
him. It's Joe. Joe's the real problem.
So yeah,
Joe's
sorry,
got like
Joe.
300 ping sometimes.
But that's the issue. If they're enforcing that, we can't really queue up with them. And I understand why, because if you look at,
I'm not even talking queue up system. I'm talking about joining a group BR together. How does that work?
But if you look at what happened last time, like PH was running around and he was like, people are sitting and shooting at me. This was on the test server, so maybe part of it was that. But he's like, because of my lag, people are shooting at me and they can't hit me because my ping is so high that they're just doing shots at me and there's no way that they can hit me. That is a problem because, as you said, with the lag switch, they can do that on purpose.
So I think that what you're describing was an issue on the test server. Typically, his ping.
If it's not on the regular server, then fine. But I can understand why they would not want to if they can't get it to where they can stop the people not being able to hit because of the ping.
Now, if you're below like 300 milliseconds ping, you can still play. There may be a little bit of a delay, but his ping is typically around 150 or so from that region. 150 is not people shooting at you when you're not there. That is thousands of milliseconds.
And that
tens
could be
of thousands of milliseconds.
exactly. That could be the test server.
So then
just
my
being
question
finicky.
still stands. If we're doing a 5-man BR, Brian. It's you, me, and 3 other people from Europe. We're in a group. Does it default to our closest server? Does it default to their closest server? Does it even let us play? It says players will default.
Group up.
It says that players will default.
Because we can group up, but it may reserve the option to pretty much remove them.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking. I mean, that seems like that would be the way to do it. Is we can make a group inside, a Steam group and join in together. But it may say, you know what, your ping's too high, you're out.
Yeah, because the word that kind of does it for me, it says players will default. It doesn't say players have to or players will be. It's going to default.
But then I think with the fair play, they're going to enforce.
Yes, ping. I would assume something maybe like 500 milliseconds, maybe a little bit lower, maybe 400, maybe 300.
I would think a little bit lower.
But 100 milliseconds ping is not, even 200 milliseconds ping is not.
If they were trying to enforce that, I mean, if you're doing super competitive, sure, enforce that. But most people on their home internet connections aren't running under 100 ping. A lot of people aren't.
No, exactly. So that's region servers and fair play. Now the next thing is something that people have wanted for a while: team follow cam. So now when you're playing
two and five
man BRs, if you die before your teammates, you will now follow your survival teammates locked in a third-person camera, so you can continue to track the match and your team's progress. Yes, I'm so excited for this. This is finally in the game. We've been waiting so long for this. Just in time for the invitational. So
and hopefully, this will give them enough time. I mean, they've got a couple weeks.
A couple weeks. Try like a week. It's next weekend.
Have a week. They pretty much have a week. And this isn't the one that they're using in that.
No.
But I'm assuming it's some of the same technology. They're using something that's now integrated with this new interface. It's got to be close to this.
Yeah. So
hopefully, and I would rather have this than that manual follow cam.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what they've been doing, is that manual follow cam. I'd rather have something to where it's that player's feed built off the same system. I'd rather see what that player's doing.
Yeah, in the third person view. Exactly. I mean, that's like Call of Duty and Battlefield, all those other games that have a spectator mode. That's what those do. So there's a few other, there's kind of a TLDR on this as well. There'll be a link on the website, infectionpodcast.com
so they actually have separate notes. I don't know if you want me just to go through for the actual update today.
So that's today's update.
9:20 update.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
We can go through this somewhat quickly because we've gone into some things
we've already talked
detail.
Exactly. We've already talked about some of this.
So one thing that was on the test server that wasn't working correctly was inventory stacking.
Yep.
So if you made 100 bandages, you had 100 individual bandages in your inventory, which could create a large problem. So
did create a large problem.
Yeah, they're really trying to fix that, and I know that they weren't sure if they were going to have it correct in this one yet, but they are planning on having inventory stacking to where you'll have stacks of that item. They said if they didn't get it fixed, because I was watching the live stream a couple days ago, if they didn't have it fixed, they'd at least make it so that all your bandages went to the bottom. So you could still see other items because bandages are what you're going to most likely have a lot of. Parachutes, for some reason, parachutes were not disappearing, and I ran into this too. So they're getting it to where the parachutes will actually disappear once you land. They're doing this Twitch integration, which will make it so that streamers. So here, last minute discover we made. As a streamer, viewers do not show up in the in-game list. We're investigating, so that's something they're trying to fix. Scores, they said that there was a bug where the game was and your scores were blank. They said, of course, this is tests. This is something they're putting out, and this was what was our big issue is you're trying to go straight to release on the 20th without testing. So they said, hey, there's going to be surprises. There's going to be bugs. We've tested as much as we can, but expect things that we will then monitor closely and we'll fix as quickly as possible. Which was, we went off on it enough, saying you guys are going to, release the game in one day without even doing a single test build of it. And then the scrapyard, which you went through earlier, converting your daybait cash to crowns. We went over that. And then they just have a list of small fixes. So, I mean, that's the main things that they're putting in, but that's a huge amount. The whole UI. But these are some things that they're saying, we're trying to fix this today. There were maybe some things in the test server, but these are changes that they're really trying to get from the test server to the actual build today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I mean that's pretty much today's update, and it's still not out. I've been following the Discord on it.
As have I.
There's a login issue that they're having an issue with.
Yeah, the problem, what it appears to be, is that so many people at the login servers that they crash that, and then there's some issue with the login server. So the game servers are up, but the login servers are down.
Yeah, that's the thing is the CPU pretty much on the login servers maxes out and crashes everything. So I'm assuming they're trying to find a way. Maybe something is taking, more processing just for small actions, and they're trying to cut that down, or they're trying to find a way to limit it.
Yeah. So
or maybe, it makes everybody log in over a longer time.
I'm going to we're going to give everybody a quick notice here. If you have small children listening at this point, I'm going to go on a rant that may include a few choice words, because I feel like it's the only way
to cover your children's ears.
I feel this is the only way to describe some of the people that play this game. So if that's something that's concerning to you, skip ahead a few minutes. So there's your disclaimer there. Let's go into the kind of people, and I feel really, really bad for the H1Z1 team, and honestly for any team that is dealing with early access. And to me, it would be a total turnoff for me to be doing an early access game. Seeing, and so here we go with this. These people that join this Discord and are on Reddit are such assholes. There is no better word to describe these people. They claim they hate the game. They claim, and this isn't just Discord. You're talking
about the Discord or Reddit?
I'm talking about both. It's the same people that hate the game, bitch and complain constantly. The whole game sucks. F this, F that, F you, and F you and F you. They hate everything. Yet they spend so much time involved in the community. And for me, it just doesn't make any sense. If you hate the game, shut the hell up and don't play it. Why are you spending all of your time on Reddit and on Discord bitching about it? I don't understand this. This community, thanks to the people in this community, this is why we get no back and forth with Daybreak. This is why there's no conversation back and forth, because we have people that constantly berate the staff, and the entire H1Z1 Discord, King of the Kill Discord, that they launched yesterday is already locked. You can't even talk in it anymore because people are just in there berating the staff and berating anybody and everybody. I mean, I post one thing in there and I'm told to stop kissing Daybreak's ass. I just don't understand these people. Stop bitching and complaining about the game. And if you're going to, then don't play it. But why are you active in the community? This is the problem. This is why we don't have back and forth conversation with Daybreak. Because of just assholes in the community. There's this guy in this Discord that is just, hey, can I get a job where I don't have to do anything all day and just sit there? Can I'm gonna just sit there all day because clearly you guys can't do your jobs. And it's just like F you. Like, just find something. They're screwing everybody else. Like they are the reasons that Discord or that the Daybreak team isn't open and transparent with things, because they have to deal with people like that. So there's my quick. Well,
I did hear I saw a tweet from Adam, which pretty much, or Clegg, that was saying, you say you hate our game, but then you play it every day. You say you hate it, but you play it every day. It's something close to that.
Yeah, it's the truth. I mean,
now for me, like I got so frustrated, and I was an apologist for H1Z1 for a long time, right? But I hit a point to where, okay, I was really frustrated with the development. I was frustrated where it was going. It wasn't going where I wanted to, so I stopped playing for a while. And and for me, that's giving them enough time to get it all figured out. I know they've said before the game is not where they want it to be, and this is, look at today's update. This is them getting it towards that point.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I'm more of a Just Survive guy, not a King of the Kill guy.
As am I.
And so, it's still not to the point to where I want to go and play it every day.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see me playing it constantly and then saying I hate this game. Well, no, I don't hate the game. It's just not. The game isn't what I want it to be right now, and if they get it to that point, I'll play it again.
Yeah, and the biggest
it's
problem,
as simple as that.
And this is the problem I have. Unlike you and I, Brian, the people that are on Reddit and the people that are on this Discord complain, but give no feedback, give no solution to the problem. I hate, and this isn't just Discord, this is in life. I hate when people complain but don't give a solution. I every once in a while I'll do that, and I really try to cut myself down on how much I do that. But you can't complain and not have a solution. And going into the Discord and telling the developers to literally go F themselves is that your solution to the problem? Like and asking for a job where you sit there and do nothing all day, that's your solution to the problem?
Well, today they had to go in, so they went into their Discord and they muted everybody.
Yeah, they locked the entire thing down.
They locked the whole thing down, so because people were just, I guess I wasn't on it at the time, but people were so harping on them so much. And people like RadarX, who actually goes into Reddit and on Twitter, and he'll communicate and say things. And I understand that sometimes they'll come back with snide remarks or whatever, fine. But, they take so much just trash from some people that, and I understand some of it is warranted,
Yeah, some of it is warranted.
I think they've learned, quit promising us things.
Yeah.
And that we've said this before. Don't promise me anything, deliver. Words mean very little to me as this is my personality type. You could say whatever you want to me. I'd rather see it delivered. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it rather than say it, and you'll have me convinced. And, maybe this patch today and redoing the whole UI. I've said for how long the UI is a huge part of promoting your game. When people take screenshots, it looks like a 1990s shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Who wants to play that game? I look at that, and they answered back, not that because they were answering to me, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They answered back with, here's a totally reworked UI that just looks really good.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, that's them putting their money where their mouth is and delivering, and that's what's going to convince me.
So I just pulled this up, and then we'll move away. This is on Chris Wynn's Twitter today. Case in point of the people in this community that are just complete and utter assholes. Chris Wynn tweeted out that he has executed the order and has pushed the button. The servers will start coming back online. This was like 4 or 5 hours ago when the servers were coming back online. Somebody tweeted to him, and I quote, "Go F yourself. Go F yourself, you lazy American fat." That was the response to him. And then he proceeded to call them an asshole. But this is the problem. This is why when we don't see stuff posted on Twitter and they just push that, it's because of people like this.
And this is something
why
early
would you
on
respond that way? This guy just said he's going to put the servers back line, and this guy's telling him to go F himself. Why is that your response? What the hell is wrong with you? Like this community.
This is part of what we said a long time ago. You're dealing with Reddit. We've dealt with Reddit.
Worst mistake. I bet you that is the biggest thing that.
But you can see they've really backed off of Reddit.
Yeah.
What is Reddit? They used to be really involved in Reddit of conversations. Now, once in a while, they'll chime in.
Yeah.
But mostly they'll post the patch notes. They'll post announcements. Other than that, they rarely respond to conversations on Reddit, which is smart.
Yeah, I guarantee you that is the that they regret using Reddit as their official means of communication to this day. I bet you they regret that they made that decision or said that publicly, 2 years ago, because the community on Reddit is just awful. They are arguably the worst people in the gaming community. And it's not just H1Z1 community. It's the gaming community in general. They're just awful people.
Nisco's bringing up anonymity. Like, I appreciate the ability that you can be anonymous, but when the problem, we ran into this. I mean, I used to be really involved with Hangouts, and it used to be more of a public, people would come and hang out and talk. Well, okay, people could come in there anonymously and just do all kinds of ridiculous things.
Yeah, I mean, we used to deal with that all the time, Brian.
Yeah, and you'd have just people come in and just do disgusting things, whatever, because there are no repercussions. I mean, this is the internet. And so you have to protect yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And have ways to, and them coming onto Reddit where there's just a few guys controlling it that aren't even, working for the company.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's a limited amount of policing that you can do without then looking like you're the bad guy.
Yeah, and to be clear,
and so I think if you're on Twitter, you can block somebody and it's not a big... that's a much better venue for saying, hey, let's communicate with people. Yeah, do it publicly on Twitter.
And to be clear, I'm not saying that there should not be anonymity or that Reddit. I'm a very large, very big supporter of Reddit and supporter of.
It's not a great way to run your business.
Exactly, and that's my point. And part of the blame is on them, but part of the blame is on the gaming community. That it's the same people that hype No Man's Sky. It's these same idiots that hype No Man's Sky. And the same idiots that hype every single game that comes out, that they just cause this issue. I don't know what it is, but that was my quick PSA. Here's the thing: if you hate the game so much, if you hate this show so much, if you hate anything so much, why are you taking part?
Nick must be getting some hate mail.
No, it's not. No, not even hate mail. But that's like you just I hate this TV show. I hate this TV show. Yet you watch it every single week. You turn on your TV at 8:00 every Thursday and watch it anyway. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself
for punishment?
Yeah, if I hate something, I don't watch it or I don't take part in it. It's very, very stupid.
I mean, as far as King of the Kill goes, I think they've done a very good job with King of the Kill.
Yeah.
I mean, I've complained about the engine and everything else, but for King of the Kill, for what it is great. For me, if I complain, it's purely about Just Survive, and Just Survive is what it is. And if it never, for me, it's kind of like the Black Death. You know what I'm saying? That game, to where I have it. If it ever comes out to where the developers really turn it into something cool, I'll start playing it again.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting anything. I've written it off. They've released a game for my $20. I've played enough of both. Didn't we pay $20 for it? Right?
Yeah.
Originally, I've gotten my money's worth out of it. If I have to move on, and play King of the Kill every once in a while, that's fine. But that's what the game is to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just watching it right now, and people are just bantering back and forth and telling each other to F off, and it's just the community. They're not even pissed at Daybreak anymore. They're just yelling at each other now. There is no logic in this community. These people are morons. It's just they're just straight up morons. So that is now.
There was one other announcement that we're going to go into. Just that there's no longer keys.
Yes.
Keys are going away, and so they're just doing crates, and all of your keys are going to be converted. If you have keys right now in your account, they're going to be converted into unlocked Predator crates automatically. So that's something to expect. I don't know if that's happening today.
And the interesting thing to note with that is
today.
The interesting thing to note that is this is, I think, the direct effect of taking a game that you thought was free to play and now making it a pay to play game, where you have to pay $20.
Well, before they were trying to come up with a way, how do we finance this over the long term? So keys were something that you would put money into. They still have Daybreak Cash. They're still bringing in all of that, which should be a free to play element, right?
Yeah, exactly. The keys are totally
as long as they provide other ways to get these things, which I think that's what
the scrap system is.
And so they're aiming here. You bought the game once. You're still going to be able to get some of these skins if you want to buy them all, and that's how most games like this worked.
Yeah, for the longest time,
everything.
For the longest time, Team Fortress 2 was a game you had to pay to play, and they still had a crate and key system, but there was ways that you just in game randomly earn things. that happens. So this, but I think the no more keys just crates thing is a direct, cause and effect of them not being a free to play game anymore, because they don't necessarily have to worry about that income charging, was it $1.99 or $3.99 for the keys anymore, because now they're getting $20, for each purchase now. So this is good news. This is good news. The new scrap system, it's good news. It's very good news in my book. So that is my H1Z1 rant. I've been following the Discord in here, which, by the way, if you're not in the Discord, there will be a link in the show notes for it. But you can go in there and I just been following the announcements thread. So this was at 7:25. So this was about half an hour ago. They're still addressing the login issue, and then they'll keep us updated. So if there's anything that pops up during the show, I'll bring that up. But that is H1Z1. Do we want to roll into our first game giveaway here?
Well, actually, let's talk about it, because this is one that was actually given to us by a company. So I'm just let's show it off a little bit, and then we'll do the giveaway. And actually, I'll reset the thing right now so that people can't complain.
So this is a game.
So the raffle's been reset, but we're going to announce what it is.
So this is a game that I think if you're a frequent browser of R gaming on Reddit, you probably saw this GIF a few months back. This is this was very, very high on the subreddit, and this is a game called Can't Drive This that is done by the Pixel Maniacs. And essentially what happens is it's a two-player game, either local or online, where one person is driving. On the left here, you can see some type of monster truck, and the person on the right is creating the map or the road in real time. So this is like
I'm assuming that they have a list of certain things that they can place down. It's kind of like a Tetris where you're like,
exactly.
You're trying to place,
but you're building in real time. So you're flying, as you can see in this GIF, you're flying through the air, and somebody is placing the blocks for you.
And so if you're slower, like the truck that you're driving is catching up with where you're creating on the map.
Yeah.
And so it becomes it looks like a lot of fun. They gave us a copy to try,
a couple of keys
to give away. But what we decided is, because it is a two-player game, what we'll do is we'll give away both copies. Yep.
And by the way, this game doesn't come out until the
26th, I think?
25th or 26th, so 5 or 6 days from now. So you've got an early access.
And this is unlocked. Yeah, so you'll be able to play this game now.
Exactly, if you win this.
Yep.
So you can put in ! raffle in the chat, and you'll have your opportunity to...
and that's actually a link to the game. I put a link in chat to the game if you want to check it out on Steam. We're going to give away 2 keys. This is made by Pixel Maniacs. Thanks, guys, for giving us these copies to give away. But we'll be doing 2 different roles for this one. So if you want to go and enter now, looks like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be, get your opportunity to get the game 5 days before release. So
yeah.
There you go.
And
you can follow them on
that.
Twitter. It's at @pixel_maniacs, and there'll be links to all that stuff on the website. So yeah, there you go.
Cool, very good. All right, now Arc. Do you want to jump right into that?
Yeah, let's jump right into Arc. What do we got on Arc?
All right, so this week they've done a number, 6 or 7 updates, I think. So we're going to jump into 247.2. They did do their bigger release, and so of course, they had their new map that they put out. They released a couple new dinos this last week.
Yep.
And so this was mostly fixes this week. So 247.2, they fixed an issue with the structures not colorizing because you can paint everything. So those weren't painted correctly. They fixed an issue where platform beds were not being allowed to be spawned, or would not allow spawning. So when you die, when you try to spawn back at a bed, it wasn't allowing it to happen. So you'd have to pretty much respawn randomly in an area. They fixed a crash where you couldn't equip weapons onto the Mantis. So remember, the Mantis is the one that can actually hold some sort of a weapon or a tool. And that was only in single player though. So they fixed that issue. And then they fixed they improved, not a total fix, but they improved the center's performance RAM issues. And they said, they put a note in here, still a remaining problem. So, the center took a lot of RAM, took a long time to load. So they are still working on that.
You know what's interesting about that, Brian? The center was something that was developed in-house. When you look at the center.
No, this is a separate guy. He's now hired by them.
No, I thought the center was also developed by somebody else. I thought the Primitive Plus was the one that was developed by the community.
No, well, this is some other guy doing it. So Primitive Plus was a mod originally, a mod. But the center, I think, is made by. I think it was a community thing.
Oh, well, okay,
but they hired him from what I could.
All right, then my point is invalid. What I was going to say is that it's funny. It was that they were able to. They're having issues developing something in house, and then like something.
No,
like
I think it's because they brought it in, and now they made it.
Because if you look at Primitive Plus, it was pretty. I mean, there were some issues with Primitive Plus, but for the most part, it ran pretty well for a developed mod that wasn't optimized 100% for the game.
Well, I mean, there was so much stuff in it, and now they're really going through and just trying to rework it. I mean, because there was a lot of stuff that they were bringing in. When it's just not an automatic. Let's make this, work button. Yeah. They took a mod and they integrated it in the game, so they are still doing a lot of fixes and making it towards more like the core game.
Yeah, exactly.
So because they want it to perform like that. I mean, if you look at the new expansion they put out, performs very well. Yeah, but it was designed from the ground up
by them
with this in mind. It wasn't a mod that was then converted to make it, a full regular game.
Which is, I'm sure, a larger task than they, assumed it would be at the beginning. It's not just
now
this is a mod.
They fixed a Primitive Plus crash in this as well. Gotcha. So those are things that they're continuing to work on. They in the 247.21, so this is one of those another smaller sub patches. They fixed in the center. There's the new Archaeopteryx. I hope that's the pronunciation.
Close enough.
But that's one of the new dinosaurs. It wasn't spawning correctly in the center, so they fixed that. And then they fixed a crash that would occur when someone was a passenger on the Tapejara, which I hope that's the pronunciation too. Tapejara, which is one of those big 3-seater, that new one that they released. That it's the kind of like a pterodon, but a little bit bigger.
Is that the one that hangs onto the side of the tree?
3 people. Yeah, it'll cling onto the side of the tree.
Okay.
Yeah, so they fixed an issue, with that where when there was a passenger there, it would cause a crash. Gotcha. And then they fixed edge case of aiming weapons on the Tapejara. So I think there was an issue where when you were on it, you had an issue aiming at things. So because you can be that passenger that has the gun.
Yeah.
Now 247.3, which this is a small one, they fixed the Archaeopteryx. You can say that 5 times fast. The spawn frequency on the islands, and so it's now common if you go into the redwoods on the island, which is the main map. They have the redwoods in the center. Those will now start spawning around the redwood area, and then they fixed a client-side crash on exit that occurred when you had certain mods loaded. So there's the compatibility issue. 247.4, they added the Archaeopteryx and the Tapejara to the Scorched Earth because they weren't. That's the new map. They weren't in there. If you look around, they said they hang around the Joshua trees. So if you keep an eye out for those, and the Tapejara, and that's the Archaeopteryx, and then the Tapejara is found around the mountainous areas, kind of a similar area where the birds are. So that's 247.4. 247.5 was mostly just fixes for crashes and things like that. So they fixed a server-side crash when downloading survivors onto unofficial servers. They fixed a crash with the list sessions UI. They improved the appearance of landscape in the Ansel Super Resolution Capture. So that's that 3D mode. And I actually bought a headset so I can view those to try them out. But like the Google Cardboard that you can put on.
Wait, what? How much was it? What did you buy?
It's like $13. So it's kind of like Google Cardboard, but it's a nice plastic one that is, and you just put your phone in it and you have 3D. So it allows you to view the 3D pictures. And they're JPEGs, I think, if I remember correctly. But it allows you to view them in the full 360 view.
Cool. Congrats.
And then they fixed an input issue.
You're going to wear it on the show next week?
No. Because I won't be able to see anything. I won't be able to read the notes. We'll skip that.
Just save the notes as a JPEG. You can look around. Hey, 243.1.
There is one side where the camera can be, so I could see out of one eye. Maybe a cyborg or whatever.
Perfect.
They fixed an input issue with Chinese characters.
Gotcha.
And then the latest one that they just did today, 247.51, they fixed Oculus Rift support for 1.0 retail SDK. So that's pretty much just an issue with Oculus Rift. So that is working. So now that's current 247.51 for Ark. And then I wanted to make some notes or just kind of mention some things that are coming up, because October 10th, which is what, in a little over 2 weeks?
October 10th, yes.
So it's almost 3 weeks?
Yeah, about 3 weeks from now.
They are going to be hopefully implementing the procedurally generated arcs.
Okay.
And so they actually have some screenshots. I don't know if you want to pull that up on screen for the generated arcs, but they have 2 examples of that. Just kind of showing what they're going to look like. And they were taking a job at No Man's Sky. They said, this is not No Man's Sky.
Nice.
Because I think they're trying to show that these are actually
So this is just
legitimate landscapes.
Yeah, this is just all random, which is cool.
Now, if you look at the link, there's another link on there that shows another one that's a little bit different of an environment.
Talking about the one that's directly on Twitter.
Yeah, I think. Well, okay. Well, there's 2 of them on there. I think you showed the.
Okay, and then there's this one as well.
Yeah, so that's just another
closer in view of the same map, it appears. But,
yes,
so
from what I can tell.
Yeah, cool stuff.
But yeah, so that's just kind of showing they're going to hopefully get that out on the 10th of October. But this is going to be procedurally generated arcs. Then they're releasing a number of other dinosaurs at the same time. I think 4 other dinosaurs they're hoping to release. They're doing those dynamic link bridges, Explorer notes, which is going to be part of the lore system, breeding mechanics, which allows random mutations. So if you breed things, you might get just random mutations on those, and then family trees so that you can breed in certain things into your dinosaurs and try to get your own custom dinosaurs. And then they said about 20% of our performance benefit in structure heavy areas in that patch as well. So that's what we can look for on October 10th with 248.
Cool.
Now there's another game here that I listed.
Let's do the
Oh, do you want to go? Yeah, we can do the giveaway right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, before we get going too far.
Yep.
All right, so the first one, the winner of this is Jay DeLory, longtime listener of the show.
Longtime listener, first time caller. Okay.
Yeah.
First time winner.
Thanks, JD. So I will send you a code for that. Actually, I will do it right now. And then another one, we'll go and draw one more time. Hyperdrive 3000.
Hey.
And it says he is not following our show. I encourage you inside of Twitch. Man. I'll call him out. Follow us, because it makes a big thing right here. Follow us. You follow us, so then you get notified every week when we start a stream inside of Twitch.
You're gonna get a free game, and you're not even following. That's pretty cold. It's pretty cold.
I wasn't gonna be that mean about it.
So speaking of cold, let's take this opportunity to tell you how you can support the show if you feel the need to do so. Of course, watching live and interacting in the chat supports as well, but people every once in a while ask us, how can we support in other ways? We've got a few options available on our website. It's infectionpodcast.com/support. We've got a PayPal affiliate link here that if you bookmark and use, we'll get a few cents kickback on that, or a direct contribution through PayPal. You can do a one-time or a reoccurring donation if you feel so inclined to do so. And both of those links are on our website, infectionpodcast.com/support. And also another way, which I don't think we typically talk about, is if you want to give like a game away or something. If you've got extra game keys, send us an email. Contact.
And we're actually going to be giving away.
We're going to be
giving away some shows for the second one. This first one was given to us by a company. Thank you very much. But actually, we have another listener who gave us some games that we'll be giving away. We'll be giving away one of those at the end of the show. So so that's totally something. If you do that, it's great. Usually I pull them out of my list of my stack of games. But it's always nice when we can get some titles from listeners, especially some big titles, because hey, it's cool stuff. People enjoy receiving great games.
So there you go. If you've got any of that stuff, the email's contact@infectionpodcast.com, and we'll give it away and give you a shout out. So there's a few different ways you can help support the show if you feel the need to do so. So, Brian, there's a new game that you're talking about. Did somebody...
That's Nisco.
Somebody
Nisco
turned you on
sent
to
me
this,
messages. Right? Nisco sent me a message saying, hey, and he actually did it a while ago.
Okay.
And, it was a while away from release. And so it's like, we'll talk about it later. And so now, so they're getting closer to release. This is Conan Exiles. So this is going to be a survival game. that's based on, I don't know, it's Conan the Barbarian. So it's a early access action RPG, massively multiplayer survival game. So it's supposed to be out in January of 2017. So it's a little ways away, but you can kind of follow the development. Yeah, so we'll have a link to it, the Steam page, and then they have a website that has videos. I don't know if you want to show any of these.
Yeah, I was just going to show. Do you want to describe anything about the game? So what actually is going on in this game?
Okay, so it's in Conan the Barbarian type of desert.
Okay.
You've got, of course, it's multiplayer. So they're demonstrating going in and kind of attacking a base. So they set up a bunch of explosive canisters of probably oil or whatever, and it shows them raiding this base. It is somewhat early access, so you can expect this to change. This is just some of their early on stuff showing, but they are still developing the characters. They demo some of the building mechanics.
This is 100%. This looks just like Ark.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is like a blatant ripoff.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
even the trees, they look exactly the same.
But I'm assuming this will have a little bit more story element to it because that's something they've tended to do with the Conan series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, this will be something to keep an eye on. It'll be on PC and console, January 2017. But I figure we can start following it now, and we'll just see how the progress goes and see what it turns into.
I'm not trying to attack it. I can't believe how blatantly what a blatant ripoff of Ark that is. I mean, those palm tree things are literally exactly the same trees that are in Ark. And the buildings, the walls looked exactly the same. Wow. Okay.
Yep. And so we'll just have to see.
Yep.
This is all early access stuff.
Wow. Okay.
This is all early content, and so we'll just have to see how it develops over time and what it turns into. I mean, they've still got months to develop this, and they kind of show characters and things that they're developing.
Okay.
Making this, so we'll see.
Okay. Well,
hopefully, it's just not Ark 2.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just from the look of the trailer. I don't know. I mean, it's a different style than Ark, but it's still, or different, I should say, a different kind of game. But the styling wise, it's identical, which I guess is maybe good if you want to try to play this. There's not really, doesn't appear there'd be as much of a learning curve, right?
Well, and I don't know if with this, is it going to be more of a story driven? Because Ark is not story driven.
No, not
as
at all.
Of yet. It's more of a just run around and build and tame. Is this going to be more of you feel like there's an actual objective to it? And if so, this is where it could really carry on. It could take its own path on this. And so I'd love Ark. I don't see where they're really going to have a lot of story driven content.
And I don't think they need to. It doesn't. That wouldn't make sense.
But this is one where maybe for people that want, like me, I usually tend to prefer having a story to follow, an objective. Oh, I want to go and discover this, or this is something that they're kind of pushing me towards. And if they do that, I think it'll have its own audience.
Okay.
It says, who will you be? A warrior, a hunter, a builder, or a king? So there are objectives in this. Okay. And you can choose your path, which is very different than what Ark is in that way.
I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what happens and what they do. No, I wasn't being. It doesn't look like a bad game. I was just shocked at how much it looked like Ark.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. That's the danger with these is, are they going to go in afterwards and kind of change it? Maybe not.
We'll follow it and we'll keep you updated on. We've got a couple of months. Hey, we may not even be in the show January 2017. That's quite a while away. Who knows? So we may
be out of business.
We may update you. We may not. Who knows? Listen next week to find out if we.
Yeah, let's see if we're back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Miscreated actually put out a couple of hot fixes this week.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to cover those a little bit. They did one that I missed on the 11th just because it was so small. But this is hotfix 39A. It was mainly server optimizations.
Okay.
They removed jail doors. And so they said they're going to add those back when they have a better solution for doors. And I don't know if it's because people were locking other people in or if whatever that problem is. But they removed jail doors from the game. And they fixed the inventory window automatically closing when another player becomes relevant to you or respawns nearby. Now that's the relevant system, is when someone comes into range. So your inventory window would close when you do that. So I guess that would be a good indicator of, hey, someone just walked in my range, my inventory closed on me. You could pretty much open it, sit there, and you know you'd be safe until your inventory closed on you. So they fixed that bug. They fixed all sedans so that you can shoot into them, and then police sirens now work.
Oh, nice.
On
A little
police cars.
You could do a little drive-by now. You could just...
Yeah, so the thing is, if you drove a sedan, no one could shoot you.
A reverse drive-by, actually, I guess.
Yeah, you're like, no one can kill me.
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
you can drive around and annoy everyone with your police siren. And then they fixed spawning of 223 ammo. And then they fixed the red replace me balls in the trailer parks. So I guess, they had things that they put in that they hadn't made the graphics for yet. Nice. So they had just a ball that said replace me because there was going to be something there at some point. So now there is something there.
Cool.
Now 39B was one that it's actually on the test server, if I remember correctly right now. Okay. I think you have to be on the development build, or maybe. But they just did some improvements for the naked and ocean spawning issues. So the problem is it would spawn you into the ocean. So people were being spawned into the ocean. Wonderful. And so that was a problem. So they're fixing that, and I think it is in the development build right now. I'm not sure when they're going to be rolling that out to live.
Okay.
Now, speaking that we talked about Miscreated, I wanted to talk about the Humble Bundle for this month. Not for this month, but there's one right now.
Yeah, one of the Humble Bundle, one of just the regular Humble Bundles.
Jumbo Bundle 7. So they've had 6 other ones that they kind of do series. But their main game for this, so if you pay $9.99 or more, you can get Miscreated plus, I think it's currently 6 other games, and they'll be adding more to this.
I'm buying this. I don't know if I'm going to buy the $10 one because I already own Miscreated, but Prison Architect for $4.88.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the $5 version, and I already had Prison Architect, so we'll be giving that away.
Oh, did you already buy this? Plus, yeah. By the way, it comes with Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is like, I'd spend $5 on that. Roller Coaster Tycoon is a fantastic game.
I used to play a game years ago that was a roller coaster game. I mean, back,
It had to have been Roller Coaster Tycoon unless it was some like rip-off.
Maybe, and it was so much fun because you build these roller coasters.
Roller Coaster Tycoon is fantastic. So,
yeah.
If you get the games that are at least announced right now for if you spend an average of if you spend $5, the games you'll get is Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Triple Thrill Pack, Devil Daggers, Runestone Keeper, Stronghold Crusader 2, Prison Architect, which I've been recommended time and time again, I don't own, and then Punch Club, and then of course some other games as well. So you can buy this between. Now you've got 13. I may just wait 13 days to buy this. You can see if there's something else you're interested in. So 13 days. So you got about 2 weeks.
Punch Club. I actually have been playing lately. I've been playing the tablet version.
Oh, okay. I don't feel like this would be as good of a PC game then.
Well, now they did have it. They have a thing where you can sync your progress.
To
your PC.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, so they have a thing where you can generate you put sync. It gives you a code, and it has a 5-minute countdown. So then you go to your other device, put in that code, and then it'll sync your progress. So I now have the progress of my tablet version on the PC. So if I want to just play it and see, and then I can move it back, so I can go back and forth, or I can continue it as a separate path because it is a progression type of a game.
Nice.
So yeah, so I mean, it's a game that you're like, yeah, whatever, but it is a pretty fun game to play.
Yeah, maybe we'll give away.
And we'll see. When they put more games, they'll probably release maybe two more games, maybe 3. And if you're not subscribed to the Humble Bundle monthly, if you buy this, then they give you 10% off of your new subscription.
Oh, actually,
of Humble Monthly.
Well, but plus, isn't part of having Humble Bundle monthly is you get 10% off the Humble store?
I think so. Actually, I think that's a perk. I don't usually buy things just in the Humble store.
Is the store not the Humble Bundles?
No. So you can actually buy games. So like Rocket League right now is 25% off in the Humble store.
And then you add another 10% on top of that, I believe.
And then and I think you get 10% off of that as well.
I've never looked at it. I didn't realize it's like a real deal. It's like a Steam marketplace in here. It's like
it gives you Steam keys.
Huh.
But they'll do bundles of, like, right now they're doing sales on certain developers. So the Deep Silver, Codemasters, Star Wars, all these different ones, they'll do discounts for that series, like all the games that they make. So it's something to keep an eye on, because sometimes you may find it cheaper than you can get it through Steam.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to check this. I didn't realize there was a whole store here. So, yep, you can get the Humble Jumbo Bundle 7, $10 to get you Miscreated, which if you were interested on Miscreated, this is a good price. Plus, it comes with a bunch of other games as well, so you can get a bunch of games for $10. So, yeah, this is actually
if you don't have Miscreated by now, I mean, you can get Miscreated for $10 plus all these other games. It's an excellent deal.
Yeah, if we want to, I don't want to talk about this quickly, but Nisco just brought this up. Steam recently just changed their policy, their review policy, where this was within the last few weeks, that you can no longer write reviews for games unless they were purchased on the Steam store.
So is this something new?
So, so people that are kind of wondering about this, if you purchased a game and got a key, I do not believe you're allowed to leave a review, even if it's a Steam. They may have a deal with Humble Bundle, because Humble Bundle is like a verified, they work
seller
directly with Steam. So Humble Bundle may be different, but if you buy keys from G2A now, you are no longer allowed to leave a review, which I think they're dealing with the issue of people buying cheap keys of these games. You could buy 10-cent keys and either give good reviews or bad reviews if you really like or hate a game. So you could drop $20 on 10-cent keys and leave
a whole stack of
leave a bunch of good reviews.
Or good reviews,
Yeah, so there may be a special deal between Humble Bundle, but
because I know that Humble Bundle links with my Steam account,
as
so
does
there
mine.
may be some. There may be some special arrangement there.
So,
we'll check it out.
Yeah, so that
I just redeemed a number of keys today from Humble Bundle. So
go on one of the pages right now and see if you can leave a review. It'll tell you if you can or can't. So I would assume if they were to have, they may have a thingy for an agreement with Humble Bundle, because it's not 10-cent keys, but that's what's going on.
They can actually track. Yeah, they can actually track where it came from.
Exactly. Well, plus you paid more than 10 cents for it, So that's how that works. Let's get into Rust. There's a pretty significant amount of updates on Rust this week, so I'm going to go through a few of these and we'll talk about them. This is Rust Devblog 127. A few things covered in here. The first thing is a semi-auto pistol nerf. So the semi-auto pistol was in the game, and they saw that it was just way too overpowered, so they nerfed that a little bit. This one is interesting. Projectile CPU optimization. If you're into how game development works, I'm going to read this one for you. So while on a Battlefield server, which is one of the servers that they have available, they noticed significant slowdown, and what they saw was that there would be at any point between 200 to 400 projectiles simultaneously at any time. So part of this had to do with the max lifetime of a projectile being 60 seconds, so that if you shot a bullet into the sky or into the water, the bullet would last and be taking, would be using resources for 60 seconds. It would pretty much go on forever into the sky or into the ocean for 60 seconds and just eating up cycles. And if you had, 100 bullets going into the sky and all of those projectiles lasted for 60 seconds, you were running into an issue there. So that's been fixed, and that was improving some performance. So there wasn't just 400 projectiles living forever. Or not forever, but for 60 seconds, which is a long time in terms of...
Which builds up.
Yeah, it builds up in terms of performance. There's recoil adjustments coming to the game. They're not in yet, but what they're trying to do is bring the Rust recoil to how the traditional first-person shooter works and try to make it less annoying than how it is right now. Also, component systems. They've been working on the details on that, and those should also be they're being worked on and will be coming into the game soon as well. There is a cloth sash that is now in the game, which is...
with some inappropriate pictures.
No, they're not inappropriate. Everything is blurred out. Plus, it's a cartoon, right? So there's this cloth sash that you can see that goes over your right shoulder and kind of around your left waist, and it's a sash. That's what it looks like. There's some desync fixes in here as well. Polaration fixes, some frame rate stuttering issues that they're working on and are being optimized. And this next one is pistol ammo range. And in the current projectile model, every ammo type has a default minimum and maximum damage distance. So they're working on ranges and kind of ironing that stuff out.
So I think it was 80, like for instance, like the pistol ammo was 80 range, and now it's 60. The semi-auto pistol damage nerfed to 40 was 50. So they're just kind of tuning that down, it looks like, a little bit.
Exactly. So the lighthouse, which they've been working on time and time again, they're still polishing the interior of the lighthouse. Natural caves, which, when did we talk about natural caves? Was that last week or a few weeks ago that we talked about?
I think it was a few weeks ago.
We showed some images of those natural caves. They're working on some stuff with the natural caves, the explosion sound. There were some issues with C4 going on with the explosion sound, some sound polishes, and then just a bunch of other randomness. But
yeah, and they're pretty much done with that flame turret.
Yeah, I can't show the video, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and they're gonna be putting that in now that they have a low poly version of it.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with Rust. That's devblog 127.
Now, I just wanted to give an update. I cannot leave a review for like Punch Club, which I redeemed today. I cannot leave a review for it.
They do not. It is official. It is only games bought through Steam. So no key redemption will allow you to leave a review, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Now, it's I guess it's good and bad depending on how. For alpha developers, this could be good, but it could also be bad because there's a lot of alpha developers that sell through.
Well, you can no longer leave a review if you don't own it, then, right? I mean, that's pretty much, you have to own it.
Well, no, it's not own it. It's buy through Steam. So like,
I'm saying you can't leave a review on a game you don't own.
No, you were never allowed to do that, but now you can't leave a review. So, for example, Brian, if you're selling an alpha game on, how Humble Bundle, you can like sell your alpha game through Humble Bundle. If you're selling it through there,
yeah. If you did the minimum charge and bought 100 Humble Bundles, like say spend $100, you could buy 100 of that game.
Yeah, yeah. And McRoggen's saying for Kickstarter, if you are giving away keys for your game on Kickstarter, for example, if you're winning a key on this show, you can not be able to leave a review for that game, which is I think good. It's good and bad. I think it's going to hurt alpha developers, especially ones that are using Kickstarter.
I think it's going to give you more of an honest.
But again, people that are using Kickstarter and Humble Bundle allows you to sell stuff if you're an indie developer. That's how H2O sells some of their copies. So, and you could say this is kind of a way that Steam is trying to maybe bring more transactions back to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't leave.
Or have developers encourage developers to have people purchase through Steam directly.
I've never.
Or, because that's the thing is they'll be like, oh, well, you can't really leave us a review if you buy it through Humble Bundle or whatever.
I've never left a review on Steam, so it doesn't really affect me. I'm not a big review person. I don't know why. Even on Amazon, I don't leave reviews. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on all that stuff. So. Just be aware if you're going to buy something and your goal is to leave a crappy review. Steam just kind of gave
buy it through Steam.
Steam just gave you the middle finger, so you got to buy
it at a full price.
Yeah, exactly. It's stopping false positives, like PHVCK is saying, and it really does. If you're going to pay full price for a game, you're not going to buy 10 copies of the game at $20 to leave crappy review. I mean, you could if you've got millions of dollars or. You got nothing better.
You might as well do something else with your life.
Well, exactly.
If you're doing that.
So there you go. That's
all right. Now, 7 Days to Die. They have. I don't know if it's out yet, but Alpha 15.
Yep. It's officially released.
Is it officially released now?
Yeah, that's this note.
Okay. So officially released. So this is a pretty big patch. One thing they're working on is the map for the Navsgain, I think is the pronunciation. That's their pre-built map.
Gotcha.
That is available because the regular 7 Days to Die, it's all generated. It's created kind of like Minecraft. It is created at the time, but this is a pre-built one where they've kind of built up cities and it's more organized to make sure everything is laid out correctly. And so that one they've been fixing. One thing that's interesting that they did is they made it so that terrain now renders over 1 kilometer away.
Okay.
So it has a nice view distance. And they said almost 2 square kilometers of new explorable space has been unlocked, and this is in that specific map. If you look at the other ones, I mean, it's unlimited. You can just keep running forever and ever, and it'll keep generating in front of you, just like Minecraft. But this one, they've added some more space to be able to go check out.
Cool.
New highly embellished height maps, so that now each biome is going to have mountains and things like that. It says huge mountains, so
huge.
Go see that. Yep. And then they said a new giant desert canyon is in there. And then over 19 new locations have been added. For instance, like 5 new unique trader settlements, a new hotel, 2 new roadside hotels, football stadium, just a bunch of stuff has been added to that map. Now, and they've released what they call Random Gen Worlds 3. So they've been really improving the randomly generated worlds to have it be more unique, I guess. So it says new RG distant terrain, new road system that uses pathfinding. And I kind of mentioned this a couple weeks ago, I think, kind of talking about that whole system, how they were redoing how roads are generated in this game. But this is actually in this patch to where it'll make it so that the roads have smoother transitions and hubs so that, let's say it puts buildings and things, it'll have them kind of along that road and intersections more naturally, when before it was just like a block of buildings. Gotcha. You know, and it just kind of place them in there. And it said they added all new spawn locations, except for this football stadium. Now this is on the random ones. They didn't add the football stadium or the Canyon gift shop or the Canyon cliff dwellings. Those aren't going to be in the random world ones. You have to go check that out on that pre-built map. And then it said they added a random gen world previewer tool. So you can see the modding section and you can go check out what the world would look like, probably based on a seed, kind of like what Minecraft does.
Yeah.
So you can check that out. And then they're just talking about like the journal tip system, the vending machines, which we talked about before. They've improved the farming chemistry station. They've been working on the zombies. So the randomly generated zombies, making it so they have a little bit more unique loot, health, have maybe some specific behaviors that are a little bit unique. Added a bunch of different type of zombies. So they have a fallen soldier zombie. They have a hazmat, male and female zombie. They have a zombie biker, and it says it's found at bars. So that's kind of cool. They'll have a specific zombie type that tends to be found around a certain type of area. They have a zombie stripper who's also found at the bars.
Right.
They have a utility worker, like for instance, they'd be found around like a factory. Team Z football player, which I'm assuming is going to be found at the stadiums.
Yeah, that's safe to say.
Same thing with a cheerleader zombie, miner zombie, cowboy zombie, farmer zombie, a skater punk. Yeah, skater punk zombie, a hungry female, which I don't know.
That's a bit sexist.
Yeah, maybe she's an anorexic female. Who knows? But with the zombie, what's the difference?
Is she really a female? Did you ask her?
Hey, I'm not going to find out. The male walker zombie, which I don't know.
You want to talk about games like this is like for H1Z1, talking about like different kinds of zombies. These are different kinds of zombies.
Yeah, not just randomly generated zombies. Like these are themed zombies.
Yes, this is really cool.
And then they've got like a risen woman zombie, which I don't know.
Fantastic.
And so they've got a bunch of like recipes they've changed. They've changed the sign-in system. They've got some more Steam achievements. They've improved ore veins and mining. They got a ton of, the recipes I'm not even going to come close to listing. It's got to be 75 new recipes that they've added to this one. And then there's a list of probably about 100 new items. They've added probably about 100 new block shapes. And they've added, just if you look at the rest, it's added and changes. It's just pages and pages and pages. So I'm not going to go through that at all. But there's got to be hundreds of fixes, just tons of things. So this is the new. So, and when 7 Days to Die does something, they tend to
go all out.
They make a big patch. They don't do small patches throughout the week. They'll go for months and then they'll release a huge patch. This is their huge patch.
Yep. This is Alpha 15, which we've been talking about for probably the last 2 or 3 months. Maybe not.
I've been doing, because I've been following one of the developers, and he's just kind of showing pieces here and there.
We've been talking about this for anything that we've talked about in the recent past about 7 Days to Die
is based on this patch.
Is all in this. Everything we've talked about is in this patch. So Alpha 15 is it's not Alpha 15. It's Alpha 15. It's out now. It's into the game, and the release notes. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. It's many pages long, so you can go to our show notes. Holy crap, this is a long thing. This thing scrolls forever.
I mean, it's a huge list.
If I was to print this, it would print it on 21 sheets of paper. So that's there's your
gives you an idea of how many pages it is.
Yeah, exactly. So you can go to the website, it's infectionpodcast.com. There'll be a link to this on there. So yeah, there's cool stuff.
Now, another one is Unturned. I wasn't going to go too deep into it. It's the normal decent list of changes, but they said they put in there Soul Crystal achievement, puzzle, and Easter egg. So something for you to go to try to discover inside of Unturned. And then they put in a new ability to place buildables in the level editor, and just ramp walls. They're constantly improving that game. So go check it out if you play it. They've added a number of new things. So this is 3.16.4.0. So go check out your Unturned. And then I'm following some games. So I've made a small list here of games to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Some because people are talking to me about them. Some I've found on my own. But first of all, one of them is Project Zomboid. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. You probably
probably seen screenshots or something. The name is not crazy, like jumping off the top of my head.
Yeah, so if you look recent, mostly positive, overall very positive. It's been out since 2013, but this is kind of one of those older overhead, more pixel type of a game. But it's an early access survival zombie open world. But from what I've heard reviews wise, people really enjoy it. So perhaps we have one guy in our chat or Discord who doesn't have a great video card. This would be the kind of game that if you're looking for something that has depth, check this out, because it's one of those ones that it's not graphic intensive, but it's got a lot of stuff to it. Like you go around and there's just a good building system. You can go through and look at the go to search a hospital, and it's just a lot of stuff. They made it a full game, and it's just very fun to play from what I've been told. And so if it gets on sale at some point, I'll probably grab it. Right now it's about $14.99 on Steam, but that's one to keep your eye on. And then Banished, it's another one that I've heard. Have you ever played Banished?
No, but I know what Banished is. I've never played it, but I know what Banished is.
Okay, so Banished is one that I have, and it's a very fun game. It's been out since 2014, but it's got a decent amount of progression to it. And so if you're looking for another game that is, from what I've been told from people, very hard to play. I mean, it's a difficult game to play because it's more of a medieval time period, and you're building and creating your farm and your houses and everything, and you have to make it so you can survive like through the winter and everything. But it's a city builder strategy simulation survival, and it's an indie game, but a very fun game. So you should check that out. And then another one, which is very different than what we usually cover, is Subnautica.
Yeah, so we've talked about this more than once. This is you've heard that name on this show before, I believe.
Yes. And this one is an early access survival open world exploration, and it's all underwater, but it's got, very positive reviews. It's got over 20,500 reviews.
Wow.
Very positive.
How many of those are Steam keys, and how many are bought on the marketplace?
Yeah. Well, we'll find that out. Now you actually will know. But this is, this game, from what I've seen, it looks like a lot of fun. It's got a lot to it. You pretty much can build a base underwater. And so I've gone and looked at a lot of reviews on this one, and I've got 15 friends who have it. Maybe they can let us know what they think. I know Gravity Beard has it.
Okay. Cool.
But I've heard, but I've got 12 friends who want this game.
Yeah, send us a tweet if we're talking about something, tweet us. That's a good way to get in touch with us with something.
And this is one where, if I talk about these games, these are the ones that I haven't played a lot of, but I'd be interested in hearing what people think, because from what I've seen reviews and from the people that I have talked to, very good games. And I'm always looking for a good game to recommend. We got a lot of people saying, hey, I've got, $20 to spend. Yeah. What would be a good game to get? If you find these, let us know, because then we can say, hey, here's a fun game. Yeah. If you like it, let us know.
Well, there is plus if there's stuff that we're not covering, it's because it's not.
We don't know about it.
It's not in our radar stuff to cover. Like
it's not in our wheelhouse.
Like typically before the show, Brian does most of the show notes, and I'll go to like some of like the places I'll check before each show. But if it's not a bookmarked link I have to check, I'm not talking about it because we just don't know. So if there's something that we should be talking about that we're not, please.
No, I mean I've got Banished, but these other ones are ones that are very good reviews. And reviews you got to be careful of. I mean, look at Ark. I mean, if you look at what happened to have you looked at their reviews lately?
No. I mean, I've been to the page once when I bought it. That was about it.
So, I mean, the review on it was probably very good up until a month ago.
Wow.
Now their recent is mostly negative.
And the overall is mixed.
11,669 recent.
Oh, it's because of the paid DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We did talk about. No, we did talk about this. I think when I was being critical of it, we looked. A lot of people
first
were pissed
started
about
happening.
That.
But it's just gotten worse.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, now that I think about that, screw Ark. Yeah, that really does. Yeah, screw that. The paid DLC, bunch of BS. All right.
Whatever. Well,
you know, people speak, and these people.
Now a lot of those people are people that didn't own Ark, or that don't own the DLC.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and this is the interesting thing. You know, for me, I'm kind of upset about that, but I'm not upset enough to go and like leave a bad review. But that just proves that people were, up in arms enough that they were, willing to go and leave a poor review. So it shows something about people.
Now, most of our listeners that have left reviews for this game have left positive reviews.
I would leave a positive review for Ark if I was to leave one, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and my review of it was positive, and I understand that people were frustrated about that, but I mean, come on, like that game is as close to release as you're ever going to get.
Yeah. And what it is, a lot of it is
that are released aren't even that.
I think the people doing it are doing it to try to make a point. I'm sure at one point, they like the game, but they're leaving a negative review to kind of use it. That's their voice to say, hey, wild card games.
See, for me, the voice is don't buy that expansion. If you don't agree with that expansion, don't buy it.
Now
the fact that it integrates, we can get. I mean, we've gone into that whole argument. But the fact that it kind of integrates to where now there's dinosaurs coming back.
Yeah.
That's where I would understand your argument of saying, okay, you're making me accept that DLC. If it were totally separate on its own, just don't buy it. But okay, there's a little bit of argument there, but still, this game, I don't care if you say it's early access. It's much better than a number of games that are out of early access.
100% agree. 100% agree. So yeah, there you go. That's those are a few games that watching. If we're missing anything, get in touch with us. There's ways to do so, and let us know what we're missing out on.
Yep. And so one thing we just wanted to re-emphasize the game of the week. This Friday at 9 Eastern, we'll start getting together, creating groups. But we're going to do Heroes and Generals. And so Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern time, come and join us. It's a really fun game.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm missing out on this one. Is it free?
Yes.
Okay.
In a Humble Bundle, I got some sort of a pack that gives me something, but you can earn, I think, almost everything in the game.
Cool.
And it is a grind. Kind of like that plane game, the tanks game.
World of Tanks, all those other games.
It is a grind. And so,
okay,
cool. Don't expect, in a weekend to have the same guns as everyone else. Like if you want to spend a month, 2 months, 3 months grinding on that game, you'll start getting some cool stuff. But it does give you rewards enough. Like you're upgrading your weapon over time to where you feel like you're actually accomplishing something.
Yep. All right. Well, there you go.
Very good. Do we want to announce the game giveaway for this next one right now?
Let's do that.
Okay, so let me go ahead and reset just to make sure that nobody is entered in. Okay, so now we're reset on the raffles. So if you want to type ! raffle, we're going to be giving away a copy of Grim Dawn. This is thanks to Supa.
Yeah, thanks to our friend Supa.
One of our listeners. He's actually sent us some other keys as well. We'll put those in at a later time. Grim Dawn, this is the one that's in the Humble Bundle monthly this month. And so if you're not going to subscribe to the Humble Bundle monthly, this is still a chance to get that main game.
Yep.
But yeah, this is Grim Dawn. It's an excellent game from what I can tell. Maybe different people are into different styles of games. But this is what, a $30 title or something.
Yeah, exactly. And just a quick note: I say this every once in a while. If you look at this game and it's not a game that you would play, don't enter into the raffle. You know, you're never going to play this game.
If you have zero interest, if you're exactly. I hate hack and slash RPGs.
Like, for example, I would never enter a raffle for this game because this is not my kind of game. I mean, I'm paying for it anyway with the Humble monthly, but it's just not my kind of game. So, just remember.
Yeah, and this is a $25 game. So
yeah, just remember, make sure it's something that you'd be interested in playing before you enter. So, quick PSA on that front, and we will we'll do that after we cover current players. ! Raffle and chat, and we'll get right into our current players. Currently playing H1Z1. This is combined Just Surviving King of the Kill. Something's going on with the H1Z1 numbers. I think it's the login server thing, but there was like 1,000 people playing King of the Kill. So currently not available for that, but combined they've got 24-hour peak of 16,275 and a 7-day peak of 16,376. That 24-hour peak and 7-day peak are very close. I have a feeling that has to do with the announcements out today, and a lot of people are just booting up the game and trying to get into it. Just Survive, currently playing, not available. 24-hour peak for that, 3,161, and the 7-day peak, oddly, 3,262, so 100-point difference with a 101 point difference with that. Moving on to King of the Kill, 24-hour peak for that, 13,114, and the 7-day peak were exactly the same, so that is the direct indication that people were logging in today to play the game. It also made it the 24-hour peak. This is Ark. This is just regular Survival Evolved. Currently playing that, 30,124. The 24-hour peak, 47,857. And the 7-day peak, 65,331. Crazy numbers for that. Another game with crazy numbers, Rust. Currently playing that, 18,092. The 24-hour peak, 31,678, with a 7-day peak of 43,980. And Miscreated, still chugging along, currently playing that 1,164, with a 24-hour peak of 1,580, and a 7-day peak of just over 3,000, 3,067. So that.
And now with this being in the new Humble Bundle today, I expect these numbers to be higher next week.
Yes, definitely. We'll remember these numbers and we'll cover them next week. So that is our current players segment of the show, and yeah,
it's amazing. I mean, if you look at the Just Survive numbers, I mean, the numbers are now below what, right? They're now, well, no, they're equal week-wise, right, to Miscreated.
Yeah, if you were to do
for the 7-day peak.
Yeah, if you were to do,
I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah, if you're, damn, that's not what I was looking for, but yeah,
within 200.
Yeah, 7-day peak is pretty close.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So let's see.
Time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. At what point are we going to be announcing that Miscreated is now always above the Just Survive numbers?
I have a feeling they'll catch up, but then once King of the Kill is out, and
then they actually start releasing stuff for Just Survive.
You got to remember, they haven't done anything on Just Survive in months.
I know, exactly. Yeah. I mean, nothing has happened in that game.
But just if they wanted to
jump it up, if they wanted to get 6,000 players, they just have to release one little thing. Yeah. So we put a pumpkin in the game.
Yeah, so
people would log in to see the pumpkin.
I'm fine with the Just Survive, and I'm fine they haven't been working on it. If you are a true fan of Just Survive, you want them to get King of the Kill out of the way so that they
get it out of their system.
Exactly. Working on King of the Kill and Just Survive was not working. They were spending either way too much time on Just Survive or way too much time on King of the Kill, and unfortunately, it ended up being the latter of those two most of the time. But once King of the Kill is for all intents and purposes live.
Put it into maintenance mode.
Yeah, well, it's what's going to happen to it. It will be in maintenance mode. The new map will be in there. The new UI is going to be in there. It's going to be very little tweaking. Then they will be able to put 85% of their effort into Just Survive. Of course, keeping King of the Kill up and running. So it is the best thing for Just Survive that King of the Kill over the next it's probably going to be about another month or two before it's actually like ironed out for the most part. But we'll start seeing the development come back. So. It's fine. I'm happy that they're working on King of the Kill and getting that kind of.
I'd rather have them not work on Just Survive at all than halfway do it, because that just frustrates me.
Yeah, which is what was
happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I just like, okay, they put something out and it breaks everything. Just all right, I've had enough. And so pretty much they did say, all right, we're going to finish Just Survive and then we'll focus on it later. Yeah. Great. Now it's time once this is done, focus on it, and we'll see what happens. It could be great things.
Yep.
A year from now, we'll be like, this is the best game ever.
Exactly. So,
Possibly.
Yep, there you go. That's current players. And are we doing tip of the week?
Yeah, let's go tip of the week, and then we'll do the giveaway after. Okay. So tip of the week's where I go through, and either I'll talk about a specific game or maybe survival gaming in general. But this is something where hopefully it will help in your game. This week's tip of the week is going to be, I'm on the wrong one, about Miscreated. And so this is tip of the week. All right, with the raising numbers that are in Miscreated, I figured, and also being in the Humble Bundle today, hopefully we'll be getting some people that have not played Miscreated before. It has a beautiful environment. It's an excellent game. If you're looking, it's got a decent base building system. If you're looking for something where you can just go run around and really get immersed in the environment, excellent game. And they've been improving it. It's got a really nice city. Just a beautiful game. I would encourage you to go check it out. If you don't have the Humble Bundle, go buy it and get the game for cheap. I want to talk about some of the shortcut keys that you can use, because there is some difference between Miscreated and again, a game like H1Z1. So for instance, in most games, when you're playing, you press E to interact. Let's say you want to interact with an item, pick it up, you go up to it and you press E. In Miscreated, it's different. If you press F, that is interact. The reason is that the Q and the E key are for leaning left and right. So you lean your upper body. I think this is kind of an ARMA way to do it. But you actually lean your body up. So let's say you want to look around a corner and shoot around a corner. You can lean, press Q, for instance, to lean to the left and shoot around a corner. So they don't use E for interact. Q and E are used for the leans. And then F is to interact. Also, one thing that I didn't realize right away when I first launched the game, because I didn't pull up anything to check it out, but the G key, it actually opens up your inventory. So you press G, it will open and close your inventory. And another thing in this game, I may not realize immediately, is you can toggle between first and third person, and that is the F1 key. So those are just some quick keys that you can use to get around and maneuver inside of Miscreated. But first thing, the main thing you'll need to know, F key opens up or interacts with things. G key will open up your inventory. And then you can jump back and forth between first and third with the F1 key. So that is tip of the week.
All righty. There we go. Thank you, Brian.
Yep, no problem. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do this last roll here.
Okay.
And the winner of this is Manstand 3.
Nice.
And he's won the last couple of weeks. I think he won something
we may have
3
to
weeks ago.
We may have to blacklist.
Yeah, it'll punish people for being involved.
You know, Manstand, I'm sorry. You can no longer win.
Manstand, he thanks me. He actually thanks me inside of Discord and said, "Hey, I played this game. I really enjoyed it." So
there you go.
So at least when he gets it, I know he's playing it. He's like,
so
playing this
what
game.
Essentially Brian is saying is, because Manstand gives him some positive feedback publicly, he's continuing to let Manstand is winning every week now.
Yeah,
and then he's going to leave Brian.
I have a weight system for the raffle. Oh, this person gets +2 points.
Well, it's not even the +2 points. It's that like Brian's like, oh, I love the public feedback that I'm getting from this guy. So I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to just keep him on my radar a little bit. You know?
Yeah. If you hear click, 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 click when I'm hitting roll, you know there's a problem. Oh, not that guy. No, not that guy.
Yeah, no, he's not good enough. Manstand, that's who we're talking about. All right, congratulations, Manstand. Of course, and if you want an opportunity to win take part in the live raffle, take part in some of the other stuff that we do during the live shows, be part of the interactive chat, which, as you've seen over I can say over the years, because it's been over a year. Over the years of the show, we interact with live, and we constantly bring them into the show. You can be here live on our Twitch channel every Tuesday night. It's twitch.tv/Infection Podcast, and we're here live every Tuesday, 7 to 9 or so p.m. Eastern, with a pre and post show that you're missing out on as well if you're not watching live. So there's that. And the cutoff for our contest, our Daybreak invitational contest is here. So I've pulled together everybody's numbers, and then when that the final number comes out, we'll cover it live. So thanks to everybody. We had a few people enter throughout the week to the infection pool on the price.
Yeah, once we get closer, we'll kind of do a rundown of who.
We just got to wait till they announce it. Yeah, we got to wait till they put the. It's coming up soon. I think it may even be next week, middle of next week. It may even be right now. I have to look, but thanks to everybody.
We'll pull it up.
We'll
compare.
Other than that, our support, of course, as we mentioned before. If you are interested in supporting the show, we have a few options available to do that. It's infectionpodcast.com/support. You can use our Amazon affiliate link. If you live in the United States, you can do that. If not, you can do a direct contribution through PayPal and make it a recurring payment by clicking the button as well. So you got those options available. And, of course, we thank you for supporting the show. And other than that, Brian, what's up with you? What do you have going on?
If you want to find me, check out @BoiseComputer on Twitter or Bite of Tech. And of course, that's with an I, since people get confused about that. BiteOfTech.com. You can check out my blog, and make sure you join our Discord and you join our it's not TeamSpeak anymore, but join our Steam group and come and play some games on Friday night, 9:00 Eastern time. We're going to be playing Heroes and Generals. So looking forward to see you all there.
Yeah, we've got a couple. The next few weeks, actually, the next 2 or 3 weeks, including this week, are free to play games. So if you
so there's no excuse.
If you're somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of cash sitting around, and sometimes we play games that you can't afford, like Grand Theft Auto, which is still a $50 or $60 title. Yep. The next few weeks is when you're going to want to jump into these games, because a lot of free to play is coming up. So can do all of that stuff. Of course, our website's infectionpodcast.com. There's links to everything, getting in touch with us, so on and so forth there. If you're interested in politics and you're following the presidential election, you might be interested in a show I do called Against the Norm, and the website is atnshow.com. And if you're interested in that stuff, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from people. So you can head on over to the website, atnshow.com. People that listen to this show seem to like it.
And it's not super long episode. I mean,
hour long. I hit an hour. It's an hour every single. It's 1 hour. It's like timed like a radio show.
Some people like really long, but some people complain if we do under 2 hours. Yeah. But it's one of those ones where it's consistent time, and that's nice.
Yes, hour every single week. I cut the show short at an hour every week. So check that out if you're interested. If that tickles your fancy, you can check that out. atnshow.com. Other than that, you can follow me on Twitter @NicholasMCraig. If you're using Gab, you can follow me there @Nick. Guys, that is going to do it for episode number 88 of Infection, the Survival Podcast. Of course, we're here live every Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.